All right, guys, we desperately need to talk about this Chinese balloon stuff because it's just getting out of control here. And I know I don't normally make content like this, but you know what? I really want to talk about this because it's just so strange. So it's in the news, happened about an hour ago. The U.S. and Canadian military, shoot down a new unidentified object. Just to give you guys the timeline real quick. So you have the first Chinese balloon, right? They got shot down off of the coast of South Carolina. This happened about a week ago. As far as I know, I think they're still in the process of collecting the debris from that, or at least finding all of the debris that came from the Chinese air balloon that they shot down. That was the United States. They shot it down over the coast of South Carolina. Then yesterday, we got another report that the U.S. shot down another object over northern Alaska. They actually sent crews out to find the debris from that. And now we have a new threat. Now, NORAD, which is the organization over in Canada, they shot down an unidentified object that was flying over Canada. Okay, now let me show you guys exactly where it happened, just so you know. All these weird balloons, I'm sorry, let me not zoom in. All these strange balloons, for whatever reason, seem to be happening in this area. So you can clearly see right here, this is Alaska. And right here is the Yukon territory right over in Canada. So right right outside of Alaska, but over here in Yukon territory over in Canada is where whatever the object is was shot down. Now, we have no idea if it's a Chinese balloon or not. They won't say. They are not telling us what it is. They're calling it unidentified. So as of right now, we have no idea. But this is the third time this has happened within a week. So it's starting to get kind of weird, you know? So like I said, just to give you guys a glimpse, so the first one was over South Carolina. Well, the first one flew from over here and then it went to South Carolina where it ended up being shot down. The second one got shot down like around here. And then the third one got shot down over here in the Yukon territory. So it's just really getting pretty insane here. We're just going to read a little bit of what they said in the Canadian press right here. High altitude object spotted over northern Canada. NORAD stands for the North American Aerospace Defense Command. They said it has positively identified an object that is currently flying at a high altitude over Canada. And then what happened was we actually had the Prime Minister. Let me go ahead and see if I can find that. We had the Prime Minister named Justin Trudeau. He actually came out with a statement. Here it is right here. He came out with a statement right here where he said, I ordered the takedown of an unidentified object that violated Canadian airspace. NORAD command shot down the object over the Yukon. Canadian and U.S. aircraft were scrambled, and a U.S. F-22 successfully fired at the object. For those who don't know, the U.S. F-22 is the plane that has been firing at a lot of these objects. So here's what else Justin Trudeau said. He said, I spoke with President Biden this afternoon. Canadian forces will now recover and analyze the wreckage of the object. Thank you to NORAD for keeping watch over North America. Now, what's so strange about this situation is they haven't came out and said exactly what it is. We heard the first thing about it being a spy balloon, right? This second object, we have absolutely no idea what the second object is. It's pretty crazy. We literally have no idea. So we don't know what the second object is, but they said the first object was the size of like several buses. The first one that got shot down over the coast of South Carolina. The second object apparently was the size of like a car. It was actually very small, and they still haven't exactly identified whether that's a Chinese spy balloon or not. Very interesting stuff. And then here's another update by this guy right here on Twitter. Alaska object. U.S. military pilots sent up to examine the object gave conflicting accounts of what they saw, which is part of the reason that the Pentagon has been cautious in describing what the object actually is, according to a source briefed on the intelligence. And then there's a whole article in CNN about it. It's just so strange. Like, we really don't know what the heck is going on here. And I just, guys, I know everybody has different things that they're interested in. Some people like boxing, some people like sports, some people like politics, some people like finance, right? But I feel like there's certain things that happen where you kind of got to talk about it, regardless of whatever niche you're in. And I think for me, this story is bothering me so much. I just feel like we have to start talking about this. Like, what is going on? Is it aliens? Is it China? Is it Russia? Is it? I mean, more than likely, it's Chinese spy balloons. More than likely, but what's going on? How are we going to stop this? Why is this happening? How much of a threat is this? Like, we need more answers. And right now we're just stuck with a bunch of questions. We don't really have many answers, right? And I do want to be very clear in the severity of this thing, right? Apparently, the word came out that under the Trump administration, when Donald Trump was president, we had similar situations like this happen when he was president. You had unidentified objects, which apparently were Chinese spy balloons, enter U.S. airspace on 3 different occasions, okay? Now, that is bad, but the fact that in his entire presidency, you've had 3 different spy balloons into the U.S., and in a matter of a week, you've had 3 or 4 enter in the airspace of the U.S. or Canada, is very worrisome. It's very scary. And I think it needs to be talked about. I just don't understand what's going on. I think that's what we need to figure out here. What the heck is going on here? You know, so you got this right here. Pentagon shoots down unknown flying object in the U.S. airspace off Alaska. Like, how long is this going to keep dragging on? When is it going to end? Like, it's wild. And then the White House actually released a statement, guys. So here's the statement right here that came out from the White House. Obviously, from President Biden, who's the president. It says right here, readout of President Biden's call with Prime Minister Trudeau of Canada. So we'll just read a little bit of it. It doesn't look like it's that long. Yeah, it's a small press release. So it says right here, earlier today, let me get that out. Okay, earlier today, President Biden spoke with Prime Minister Trudeau on the unidentified unmanned object in North American airspace. The object was closely tracked and monitored by North American Aerospace Defense Command, NORAD, over the last 24 hours, and the president has been continually briefed by his national security team since the object was detected. It says right here, out of an abundance of caution and at the recommendation of their militaries, President Biden and Prime Minister Trudeau authorized it to be taken down. President Biden authorized U.S. fighter aircraft assigned to NORAD to conduct the operation, and the U.S. F-22 shot down the object in Canadian territory in close coordination with the Canadian authorities. See, this is important to note, guys, because even though this took place in Canadian airspace and over the country of Canada, the United States is actually the ones who shot it down. It says right here, a United States aircraft, F-22, is the one that actually shot down a plane. It says right here, the leaders discussed the importance of recovering the object in order to determine more details on its purpose and origin. I agree. President Biden and Prime Minister Trudeau commended NORAD's and the U.S. Northern Command's strong and effective partnership and agreed to continue their close coordination to detect, track, and defend our airspace. Yes, for sure. I need you guys to understand, our airspace being compromised like this is not good. Like, I agree with what they're doing. I think as soon as this crap flies into our airspace, it should be shut down immediately. Like, what is this? Like, I definitely understand the criticism that Biden got, the fact that this strange spy balloon literally was able to fly from Alaska all the way to South Carolina. That's not good. Like, shoot that thing down, you know? Like, I don't get it, but, and again, we don't really have much information, guys. But I really think it's important to just kind of talk about this because it's just absolutely insane that in a matter of a week, we're starting to see more of this stuff, you know? Like, we're really seeing more of this stuff. It's crazy. Let's see what the New York Times has to say. U.S. jet shoots down flying object over Canada, blah, blah, blah. Let's go ahead and see what else is going on. I ordered the takedown. Yeah, we already read that part. I just want to see if there's any other information that we might have. Pentagon officials said Saturday evening that the radar had picked up the latest flying object over Alaska late Friday and had sent American fighter jets, which were soon joined by Canadian fighters, to track it. It says right here, monitoring continued today. Hold on, let me scroll up. Monitoring continued today as the object crossed into Canadian airspace, said General Patrick Ryder, the Pentagon press secretary. The F-22 shot down the object, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin was on the phone Saturday with his Canadian counterpart, Anita Anand. General Ryder said there were multiple theories abounding in Washington as to the provenance of the objects, but several Biden administration officials cautioned that much remained unknown about the last 2 objects shot down. The United States has long monitored UFOs that enter American airspace, and officials believe that surveillance operations by foreign powers, weather balloons, or other airborne clutter may explain most recent incidents of unidentified aerial phenomenon. Governments speak for UFOs as well as many episodes in the past years. However, nearly all of the incidents remain officially unexplained. According to a report made public in 2021, intelligence agencies are set to deliver a classified document to Congress by Monday, updating that report. The original document looked at 144 incidents between 2004 and 2021 that were reported by U.S. government sources, mostly American personnel. It is believed to be rare for the United States to shoot down unidentified flying objects, but tensions in the U.S. have been high ever since the discovery of a Chinese spy balloon in American skies about 2 weeks ago, prompting Secretary of State Anthony J. Blinken to cancel a planned trip to China. The surveillance balloon was shot down last weekend, blah, blah, blah. Okay, we already know this. Yeah, we already know all of this. I want to see just kind of what the updates are, guys, and I know the New York Times does a good job. Yep, we already got all this. Okay. Yeah, I guess that's it, guys. Yeah, that'll pretty much conclude today's video. I did just want to go ahead and talk about this weird unidentified object that's in space, that's in the freaking skies, over the airspace of the United States and Canada, because I do think that it could potentially be a threat to national security, and I think more Americans need to pay attention to this crap. I don't think it's a bunch of nothing. I think there's something more to this, especially given the fact that every single day we keep seeing more and more reports of these strange balloons, unidentified objects, whatever it may be. It's absolutely insane. Hopefully the Biden administration and our government can get things under control, because, yeah, we want our airspace to be safe. Like, this is scary. And this is even more worrisome for me because I'm going to Hawaii in like 2 days. And, yeah, we got to fly in the airspace kind of Alaska to like get there. Like, it's kind of in that same direction. You know what I mean? Like, what the heck is going on over there in Alaska where all these weird unidentified objects? Like, it's weird stuff, guys. But anyway, that'll go ahead and conclude today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you guys in the next one.